Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. In this video I'm going to teach you how to knit this amigurumi minion. It's very easy to do. I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're going to need to make it. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and click on the little bell. That way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my videos in Spanish and English. If you're receiving a Spanish video and you want to see in English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel. Then you'll find the English version in there. To do this amigurumi minion, these are the yarn that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna start with the one that we're gonna knit with, and then after the crochet ones. These ones are the Loops and Thread Charisma, bulky 5, 100% acrylic, 100 grams. You're gonna need blue, black, and yellow. This blue is electric blue. You're gonna need black, and the yellow one you're gonna need one and a bit of another ball, because this is the most that we use for the body, arms and head and everything. It's this one. You're gonna need some stuffing. Let's move this out of the way. You're gonna need your circular needle, 8mm with the shortest Chiago cable. Shorter. And you're gonna need double pointed needle, 8mm for the top, because we're gonna start in the leg and we're gonna finish in the head, so we need to do some decrease, that way it's nice and round. You're gonna need a stitch marker and row counter, that way you can count the row as you work, or a piece of paper to keep track of the rows. That is the netted part. And then the crochet goggles or eyes. This is what we're gonna use, just a little bit of each. This is a 5mm crochet hook. You're gonna need brown or chocolate brown. These ones are the Loops and Thread Impeccable medium 4 yarn, chocolate, white, pale gray, and black. This one is bernat, but it's a medium 4 as well. You're gonna need tapestry needle and scissors, and 2 buttons. We're gonna start casting on 18 stitches. We're gonna start with one of the shoe. So this time we're gonna work the shoes and legs first, and then the body. Before, with the other 2 amigurumi that I did, we started with a little pillow body and then work our way up, and then arms and leg we did later. This time we're gonna start with the shoe and legs first. So we're gonna work on one, we put it aside, we work on the next one, and then we will put them together. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap my yarn here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 and 9, 18. There's a little extra for tail. I'm gonna do a slip knot. And we're gonna cast on 18 stitches. Once you have the 18 stitches, I will meet you here. Now we're going to work 5 rows of net back and forth, just 5. This is the same amount of rows that I did for the other amigurumis. The only difference between the other one and this one is 2 extra stitches. So you're gonna knit on the way there and the way back for 5 rows. Once you finish row 5 and 6, we're gonna do a decrease row. So we're gonna work a net, 2 together, a net, 2 together, 3 together, 2 together, 1 net, 2 together, 1 net, 2 together, and 1 net. Now with the blue, we're going to work 5 rows, knit on the right side and purl in the wrong side. So knit, purl. When I have done row 5, I will meet you here. I have my 5 rows. Now I'm going to increase 2 stitches. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit 1 stitch. And I'm going to place it back. I'm going to knit another one. And I'm going to place it back. That is increase 2 stitches. Now you're going to purl all your stitches till the end. And that is row 6. Once you finish row 6, you're going to increase 2 stitches at the beginning of this one, exactly the same. You're going to knit 1 and place it back, and knit the next one and place it back. Now I'm going to cut the yarn, and you're going to place these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stitches and another needle. Or if you have shago like me, I'm gonna leave it in this cable, remove the needle, grab the other cable exactly like this one, and work my stitches exactly the same as I did in here. Once you work this part and the 5 row with the blue before the increase, I will meet you here. You have to do just exactly the same as we done here. If you don't have another needle or another cable, well, you grab the tapestry needle, a strand of yarn, the different color, and pass the 15 stitches and put it aside until you do the other piece. Here I have the 5 rows and I have a long cable because I forgot that I'm using the other one in another project. So I'm gonna do the increase at the end at row 5 at the beginning of 6. So I'm gonna knit 1, exactly the same as we did for the other one. I'm gonna place that one into your needle, and you're gonna do another one and place it back to your needle. Now you're gonna purl all your stitches in row 6 until the end. Again, you're going to increase your 2 stitches. Like we did in the other one. And now we're going to attach these pieces like this. Now we're going to knit. We're going to knit all the stitches until the end. And I will meet you here when it's time to attach the next one to this one. I finished this row and this piece. Now we're going to attach the next one. Now if you have this in a strand of yarn or another knitting needle or another circular needle and you're working with circular like this, circular needle that they're, you know, like you don't can remove this needle, you will pass from this side all the stitches into this needle, finishing where you have this in the center, in the tail. But if you have a set like this, these are such a convenience needles. You will do this. I can stop praising them. They're amazing. And no, I'm not getting paid for giving any advertisement to this needle. It's just that I absolutely love them. They're amazing. I wish I was paid. So you're gonna come here now and you're gonna continue working. Knitting all the stitches until the end. Like so. And here it look a little uneven, but when you sew this part, it will hide this part and will even it up. I finished that row. Now I want to change from this cable to the shorter one because I want to work on the round, and this one that I have here is a little bit too long. I know I still have to increase some stitches, but I want to work with a smaller cable because we don't have enough stitches here yet. We're gonna do some increases. These are the feet, but the body is nice and round and big, so I'm gonna do the increases of the stitches. So first I'm gonna change from this long cable to this shorter one, and I'm gonna pass them through here, and then later I will remove this one. Before I continue, I'm gonna lose some tails, that way I don't have all these dangling tails here. I'm gonna leave this long one that I left when I finished working with the black, the same as this one. These ones are to sew the little shoes, but this short blue and this one and these two I'm gonna lose. These two black from the beginning, I'm gonna lose those. I'm gonna have those dangling because I still have this one here dangling as well, and I don't want to have all that. So I'm gonna lose those tails, and then I'll continue working in the part of the body of our Minion. I wanted to show you this tail that I have here that we cut when we finished this one. We have this extra tail to secure this strand, and here I'm gonna lose it this way. You see, this one was from that one, but I'm gonna lose it to the next one. And then after that, we're gonna be working in the body of our Minion. These are the little legs. So I'm doing this from my head. I'm not seeing any pattern or wrote it down and then doing it in my piece, or I did one and then I do in the second. No, this one is from my brain to the table, to the design. So let's see how it works. I hope it does. So if you're looking at the video, that means it worked. So you'll see in design firsthand. Now we're gonna close the circumference. If you're working with a straight needle, you can work straight back and forth, and knit on the right side, purl on the wrong side, but I want to work this part of the short and the round, or this part of the pants. So I'm gonna grab this end of the needles where you have the strand. You're gonna work on this side, and we're gonna do increases. We're gonna knit one, increase in the next one, knit one, increase in the next one, because we need to do this part at the body bigger. So I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna knit the first stitch, and then in the next one I'm gonna do an increase. I knit one, I keep that stitch, I go to the back and increase, knit the next one and increase in the next one. Like that, you're gonna work all your increases. And we had to place a marker next time, that way you know where is the round. So in here I'm gonna place this tail, and I know once I work that stitch I finish this round, and then it's just work in the round. I'm gonna count how many stitches I have. If I need to do a few more increases to make it bigger, I will do some increases as well. I'm gonna continue with one net and one increase in the next one in the front and one at the back at the same stitch. You knit, then one in the front and one in the back, and like that you're going to continue all the way around. I finished row 1. Now we have to do more increases because it's not enough, as you see, it's not enough stitches. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45 stitches, and we need more, so we're going to do a round of increase again in round. Now we're going to work on 2, and you see the space in here between these is a little open because that's where we start working the 2 pieces together. So you're going to come here and do 1 stitch, try to make them really tight together. You're going to do 1, 2, and 3, and in the next one I'm going to do an increase. I'm going to do 1 in the front strand, 1 in the back strand. I'm going to knit 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1 in the front strand and 1 in the back strand, and like that you're going to continue in round 2. So I'm at the end of the round. I have 2 stitches left. I have to do in this one an increase and then 1 more knit, and you finish round 2. I finished round 2 and I look like this. You can see now the little short feet of the Minion. Now we're gonna do round 3 and we're gonna do a few more increases. I have 56 stitches. I still need a few more to make it a little more round. So I'm gonna work some increases. I'm gonna work around 6 stitches and then I will start with increase, and then around 2 without, 1 with increase, 2 without, 1 with increase, until around here. I will work this one without any increase, and then again increase on the other side to make a little more round. I finished round 3. Now I'm going to continue working without any increase until I have 8 to 10 round. I don't know yet if it's 8 or 10, because remember I'm doing this from my head, so I will measure as I work. I'm going to do 5 more rounds, plus this 3 is 8, and then I will let you know if we need to do more, okay? But for now, I'm going to do 8. And then I will meet you here to let you know, just net all the stitches without any increase. I have 8 rounds, and I'm going to do 2 more for a total of 10. I finished with 10 rounds for this part of the pants. Now we're going to work with the yellow and blue at the same time, so we have to do an open work for this part of the shirt and the front of the pants. So I count 25 stitches and I place the marker, 25 stitches and I place the marker. I have 16 stitches for the front. That way it's nice and even, the stitches for the front of the pants. So since we have to work this part in blue and the side yellow, we're gonna work in tarsia netting. So we're gonna work with one strand for the yellow for one side and the other strand for the other side. So you're gonna start with the yellow until the marker, you're gonna change to the blue, work these 16 stitches in blue, and then work these other 25 in yellow. You turn your work around, yellow, blue, yellow, and so on until you have the size that you want for the shirt. After that, we're gonna work the straps just in blue. So we're gonna do like 2 rounds on the entire piece with the blue, and then we continue with the yellow, do the part of the yellow, the black with the goggle, and then continue with the yellow for the top of the head. I don't know if the proportion is gonna be perfect, but I will try my best. I remember I'm doing this from my head and I'm not following any pattern or anything. So these are amigurumi. This is design as I go, and let's see what happens. So now I'm gonna prepare the yarn to work with the yellow and the blue. I remember that I have these leftover from SpongeBob, and I have this one here that I'm working with, or that I'm gonna start working with. So I don't need to grab the front and end, you know, the inside and out strand. So I'm gonna grab one from this ball, one for the other one. It'll be easier for me. I'm gonna cut this yarn because we're gonna start with the yellow. So once I get to the marker, I will remove the marker, I will work this blue, I remove the marker, and then I don't want to need those markers anymore. It's just to know where we have to change from the yellow to the blue. So I realized for easy transition in between this color and the blue, I'm gonna undo 4 of the yellow. Make sure that you count right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm gonna trap in this for the blue. So like this. I'm gonna work 1, trapping 2, 3, and 4. Leave the yellow there, and now you're going to continue with the blue. It's a better transition like this with the color in this first row. So you're going to work all your stitches with the blue till 4 before the marker, and then we'll do the same with this other yellow to trap it That way it's better transition for the other side, okay? I finished the last yellow and I pulled the tail a little bit because the separation here was quite big. So now, in order to work the change of color and not to have a hole, what you're gonna do, you're gonna grab that yellow, you're gonna pass it to this side, and you will have under the blue, you see, the yellow here, you see, and the blue under. You're gonna come here and you're gonna work your blue, and your yellow gonna be trapped in this blue. Once you do the blue, you're gonna leave the yellow here, and you will continue with the blue, working all the blue stitches. And like that, you don't gonna get any gap or hole in here. So work all the blues, and then we'll do the same when it's time to change to now again, you finish with the blue. You're going to pull this tail a little bit to close this little gap that you have here from the beginning. And exactly the same as you did from the yellow to the blue, you're going to do from the blue to the yellow. You're going to bring the blue and top of the yellow strand. You see, the yellow's underneath. And you're going to work your yellow stitch. And the blue is trapped in here. And you're going to continue working. Let me make sure that this is a little tighter. The first stitch you have to make a little bit tighter, that way later you don't get the gap. And you're going to continue with the yellow. You're going to purl until the end, knit in the way back, and I will meet you here to do the transition again, and I will start to Once you finish the little piece with the yellow, now you're going to pass the yellow to this side and the blue under to trap the yellow. I'm going to hold it in this finger to make sure that these are nice and close together. And with the blue, you're going to work the blue. And you're going to leave the yellow. And you're going to continue working with the blue until the last blue stitch. And it will look like this. You see, you don't get any gap in between the stitches. And it's trapped in here. And you want to continue until finish with the blue. Again, the same way, you're going to pass the blue to the left hand and the yellow to the right hand. The blue has to be on top of the yellow. When you do this stitch, make sure they are very close to each other, blue and yellow, and then you do that yellow. You see, you trap in the blue and you leave the blue and you continue with the yellow. You're going to finish row 3. That is a knit row. Go back with the yellow and row 4 until here, the last stitch, and I will show you again how to do the transition to these two colors, and again in here, and then from there you can continue working with the combination of the two colors until we have the desired amount of rows. It's very easy to do, and you can see already the front of the. I finish with the yellow. Make sure that this is here. Now the yellow you're going to pass on top of the blue. You're going to come here, make sure that these two stitches are nice and close. You're going to work the blue, leave the yellow. You see, the yellow is trapped in here, and that's how they're going to be as you trap them. And you're going to continue working with the blue until the last blue, and then you do the same on the other side with the yellow, and like that is the transition. See, you see a little bit of the yellow here, but that's the yellow detail. Okay, I finished with the blue. You're gonna come here and pull this yellow tight. The blue will go on top of the yellow. You grab the yellow in the right hand, the blue in the left hand, just to make sure that it's nice and tight. You do the stitch, lift the blue, work with the yellow all the way until the end of row 4. And like that, start to look for a minion, taking the shape of minion body. So far it looks like this, and it starts to look like the shape of the Minion. So these cables are very short. Those are the ones that I use to start here with less stitches. Since I have more stitches, and I'm working back and forth. I have an open work. I'm gonna attach this one to see what it look like, and to let you know how many more rows you have to do. Probably around here for this part. Probably 15 rows in total, but I'll let you know once I open my work a little bit more and see what I'm done so far. And you see, since I'm working open here in the back, you can see the open work. It's much easier. So let me change to the longer cable, and it started to look like a Minion. So I'm gonna continue working with the 2 cables. You see, I have the cable attachment here. I attach the short and long. So since I'm working back and forth, it will be easier for me to see how I'm doing. So I'm gonna continue working, and I will let you know for how many more rows. I think for 15. So I have 4. I have 11 to go. So it will be the same amount around that we have here. So until here, I think. You see that amount? That will be the top of the body. So let's see. I'll let you know if I do less or if I do more. I will let you know. But it's looking good. I decided to show you one more time the transition between the yellow and the blue on the right side. So the yellow, when you finish, you bring it to the left hand, the blue in the right hand, the yellow on top of the blue. And you're gonna go to the blue, make sure that the space in between these 2 stitches, you see the strand is nice and close. You come here, work with the blue, leave the yellow, and continue with the blue. And like that is the transition in between the stitches. So on the other side, to change to the yellow, you're gonna come here, pass the blue, and grab the yellow in the right hand. Make sure these 2 stitches, you see, they're very close to each other. The strand of the blue is just very tight, so is the yellow that you're working with. If you leave too much room, when you pull, it will be a gap. So you have to make sure that everything is really close to each other in here. And you're going to continue with the yellow all the way until the end, and you'll finish row 5, and you come back in a purl row with 6, and you'll continue working until you have like 15. I decided that I'm going to close this lower part now, because it'll be much easier now that I still have a lot of room to work with. I'm working in row 7 and everything is open, and the big cable and everything. So with the black, I'm going to sew the back of the shoe, the bottom of the shoe, and then I will do the same on the other side. And then with the strand of the blue from the outside of the ball, I will cut and sew this part. It will be much easier to do that now than later. So like this, look. They don't look exactly like I wanted, but really their legs are like this, very together. But if I do that with this thick yarn, I don't know if it look right. So this is the way it is, like that. So I'm working in row 7, and I'm gonna work into row 11. I'm gonna see how I look, and then I will let you know if I do some more or not, because I think with 11 row it will be enough for this top part. Let's see. So let's see how this work. So I decided to put some stuffing on the leg and feet because I didn't like the way I look. But once I put the stuffing, it looked perfect. So I'm gonna continue working. I'm in row 7. I'm gonna continue working until 11, and I will let you know if I do more or not. I did 13 rows, and now we're gonna work 2 rows with the blue to do the strap for the pants. And I cut the yellow from here and the blue from here, and I left the yellow that we finished with, that row, and we're gonna continue working after with this one. So now I want to trap, because I want to work on the brown, I want to trap the blue 4 stitches to the yellow, that way as a better seam in here. So I know I finished with purl, but I'm gonna remove those 4 stitches, and this time I'm gonna do them net like you're working in the round. Three and 4. I'm gonna bring the blue, and I'm gonna trap it here. Now you see, once you do that yellow, the blue get trapped, and then you're gonna grab the blue in this hand, and you're gonna put it in between the 2 needles, wrap the yellow, lift the blue, and knit, and then in the next stitch is trap. That's 3. Again, in between the needles, lift is 4. The blue strap there. Now I'm gonna change. I'm gonna work with the blue, but I'm gonna leave the yellow, but I'm gonna trap the yellow with the blue to secure that space in between. So lift the yellow under that needle, and when you do your blue, it's close in there. Leave the yellow because you're gonna continue with the yellow after 2 rounds with the blue. You're gonna continue like this all the way around, and we have a gap here for this. So I removed the shorter cable because it was too long to work on the round. I left it a little bit longer, and then later I will change to the shorter when it's time to start with the decreases. I placed these two coconut buttons there, the way you see it, like that. You like, you can sew two buttons. I never mentioned buttons, but they have buttons in there. So if you're gonna sew buttons, you have to sew them really, really well there. That way they don't fall off. Almost sew it and glue it if you have to. Because you're making this for kids, you have to make them safe. So the arms will go around here. So I did the round on yellow. So now we're gonna work 15 rows with the yellow. I had to do 14 more. I got it myself by this picture right here. So you see this yellow part is smaller than this section in here. So I did 13 here. I'm gonna do 15, 2 extra rows for this part, and then we'll do like 3 with the black and then the little top on yellow. You see, after 3 rows it look like this. Again with the buttons, so it look better. I know this looks straight, but remember we're working in the round with circular needles, so it's not going to be perfect. But I wanted to show you a picture, and I wanted to mention that the picture that I show you, the Minion have a big open mouth. I don't want to do that one like that, and don't get scared. I'm going to do another one like this one. Just a sec, let me find it here. I just lost that one. Okay. Like this one, you see, and you see these look straight, the straps, so like that's how we're gonna do the smile of ours. That to look cute. I did 15 rounds and I look like this. So now I'm gonna work with the black, and I'm gonna do 3 rounds. And then I will look, if it's not wide enough, I will do one more for 4 rounds. But I'm going to do 3, and then I will let you know if I do a 4th. And after that, we're going to continue with the yellow for the top of the head. That black part is the strap of the goggles. Okay? So it looks like that so far. We're almost done this part. Don't cut the yellow, because after we finish with the black, we're going to continue with the yellow. So in here, I left, more of this came out. Look how easy it is for one stitch to come out. What I do, I open it and just pass it through with my nails. You can do this with a crochet hook. One of my stitch fell off, but there. It's there. I have 4 stitches left. I want to trap the black as we did before with the other colors. So you grab the tail of the black, you put on top of the yellow. You see, this is for the ball of yarn, and you're gonna knit your yellow, and when you knit that yellow, you trap the black in that stitch in there. You see? So now you grab the black in this hand, you pass the black in between the 2 needles, you wrap the yellow, lift the black, and take out the yellow. And now you do another yellow and strap in here as well. Again, the black in between the needles, lift the black, and then now you're gonna lift the yellow, but in order not to have that gap, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put these two stitches together, holding the yellow, and when you work the black, you see it's trapping the yellow and closing that gap. And you're gonna leave the yellow for when it's time to work the next rounds. So now with the black, I'm gonna work for 3 rounds, and I will let you know if I need to do a 4th one. So I will meet you here when I'm done those. Here I done 3 rounds with the black, but I'm gonna do 1 more for a total of 4 with the black. I did 8 rounds in here. I already have one of the eyes, that way I can measure before I start the decrease, and it's like that. So what I did after I did my blue one, I did 15 of the yellow, 4 of the black, and 8 of the yellow again. Now in round 9 we're gonna do decrease. We're gonna knit 4 and 5 and 6 we're gonna do together. I'm working this one in Spanish, so let's pretend that you have the marker in here. You're gonna knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 and 6 together through the back strand. Like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 and 6 through the back strand. Like that, you're going to continue all the way around on this round 9. Before I continue, I'm going to change my cable because this one is the longer one. I'm going to change it to the shorter one. And in this round 10, I'm going to knit all the stitches without any decrease. I'm working in round 11. I did these ones in Spanish and now in English. Pretend that the marker is here. You're going to knit 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 4 and 5 together through the back strands. Again, 1, 2, and 3, and 4 and 5 together through the back strand. Like that, you're going to continue all the way around in this round 11. So now I finished 11. For 12, you're going to knit all the stitches, and 13, you're going to knit 2 and 3 and 4 together. And like that is how we're going to continue with the decrease. I did round 13 and 14. I'm going to change to the double pointed needle because it's getting a little bit more difficult to work in here. So I had to knit all the stitches, so it's easier to place the double pointed needle in this round. So when I start working, I will do a few stitches in one and so on in 4 needles, and then with the 5th I will be working. Before I continue, I'm gonna lose some of these tails that I have inside. It's just to secure them, that way they don't become loose. And then I'm gonna start putting some stuffing as well. I just finished to place the double pointed needle. I'll continue after, and I will show you how to make the eyes and place the eyes in their place before we do anything else. That way it will be easier. For the eyes, you have to make sure they will be centered. Count the same amount of rows, stitches in this side as well in this one. That way it will be nice and centered. And I already made one, so you can make the one eye minion like this, or to the side, or you can do like I'm gonna do mine with two eyes for William. So you will decide that will be changing the design to yours. This is my design. It's an original design because as I'm designing, I'm recording the video, so it's very original. That's my minion. So you'll change that to your own if you want one or two eyes. And it looks like this little guy. It's quite big. It's not that small. So I'm gonna lose some tails or secure them, and then I will show you. We're gonna start with the black in the center with the medium 4 yarn. We're gonna do a magic circle. I wrap my yarn here. This is the tail. I place my hook, I pull it out, and like that is the magic circle. I'm gonna chain 1, and I'm gonna do 6 single crochet, nice and loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You're gonna pull the tail tight, and you're gonna do a slip stitch on the first one. Like that is the first row. You're gonna chain 1, and the same space that you did a slip stitch, you're gonna do a single crochet, and the next single crochet you're gonna do 2 single crochet in the same space, and the next one 1, and the next one 2 in the same space, and the next one 1, and the next one 2, and in the slip stitch here you're gonna do 1, and that strand that you see like a slip stitch, you're gonna do 1, and you're gonna go to the first one, do a slip stitch, chain 1, cut your yarn, pass it through, and we're gonna work now with the chocolate. Now with the chocolate, you're gonna do slip knot, and you're gonna come here to the slip stitch behind that strand. You're gonna pass your hook and you're gonna pass that loop. You're gonna chain 1, and in that same space you're gonna do 2 single crochet. 1 and 2. At the same time I'm gonna lose those tails. Now you go to the next single crochet and you're gonna do 2 single crochet. Now in each single crochet from the row before, you're gonna do 2 single crochet with the chocolate. And like that, you're gonna work in this one and then the next eye. When you finish here, you're gonna do a slip stitch, cut the yarn, pass it through, and then we're gonna work with the white. Now with the white, we're going to do a slip knot. I always like to do a slip knot when I'm going to change yarn. That way it will be secure and your work will never go through there. Because when you pass your loop, you see, and you do your first chain, that's secure in place. You're going to do a single crochet in that space and 2 in the next one. 1 and 2. 1 in the next one and 2 in the next one. 2 single crochet in the same space. We're going to do 1 and 2, 1 and 2. When you finish this round, don't cut your yarn because we're going to do one more round with the white. This one. Now we're going to chain 2, and that counts as the first half double crochet. In the next space, we're going to do 2 half double crochet together. 1 and 2. We're going to do 1 in the next space and 1 in the next one. So 2 separate half double crochet and 2 in the same space. 1 and 2. 2 together, 2 separate. 1 in this space and 1 in the next one, and 2 half double crochet in the same space. Like that, you're going to continue with this round. You're going to do a slip stitch, chain 1, cut the yarn, pass the yarn through that chain space, and then we're going to work with the gray this last. Now with the gray, I'm gonna do my slip knot, and you see I always do my slip knot in crochet when I'm gonna change yarn color or any yarn. And then we're gonna do a slip stitch. Where is the other eye? Oh, all the way around. That's to give that goggle look. And all of them is done in the back strand. You see here in the white, you had your front and back strand, and I'm gonna come here. You see that's where I cut the white, and that one in the back of the slip stitch. There, I'm gonna pass the loop, and I go to the next one. You see here in the back, and I go to the slip stitch, nice and loose, and like that. You're gonna do slip stitch, nice and loose, not too loose or not too tight. You will know. You're gonna do slip stitch all the way until the end at the last stitch, and you see you have that front strand in here. The last one that I did, it was done in the same space where I did the first one, because if I don't do that, you see you'll have that strand in here, so you have to do one in there, and you have to leave a tail long enough for sewing. That's what I did in this one, you see, and I pass it through. I don't did a chain one. I'm going to move this one out of the way. Leave it long enough for sewing. It's better to have extra, and you pass it through like that. So, and you go and do the other eye exactly the same. The eye goggle, the googly eye. So to make sure that they're at the same distance from the side, I put these tapestry needles here to secure them, and I have 5 stitches to this side of the black and 5 to this side, and they're perfectly center. So I wanted to show you. I bought these at the dollar store a while back. They have lemon. I used to have a lemon, but it broke, and then I bought the pepper. And there I have all my tapestry needles, all the markers, and the little thing to pass the yarn through the needle. And I put it there behind my measurement tape, that way, because they have a magnet. So that's why sometimes you hear like a maraca here, and it's this all my little stuff in one place. That way they're not all over the place. So now we're going to sew all the way around the goggles. I'm sewing them in the same space where I did the slip stitch through the back strand, and there. So now you're gonna secure that yarn on the inside, and I have to remove my rings because it get stuck in the yarn inside, because this is the hand that go inside. This one don't, because it's always in the top doing the sewing and stuff. Sometime in the video you see me halfway with rings or halfway without it. It's because of that. So you're gonna sew the same way that you sew this one. You're gonna do the same in this one. After that we're gonna do the little mouth. In this part, I'm gonna sew these two together. That way you don't see that black. Because in the picture you don't have that black in there. And when you put the stuffing, that will show. You're gonna continue stuffing, play with the stuffing, you know. I still had to play some more and push, and it's looking spectacular. I absolutely love it. I already had some requests. Everybody want it. So I'm gonna continue stuffing it, and then I will show you how to finish the top, and then we're gonna do the little arms, and then we are done. Once you finish doing more stuffing, it will look more like this. I absolutely love this guy. Everybody want it. And I want to keep it for myself because it's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So now you're going to continue with the decrease once you finish the stuffing. Make sure that it's all well stuffed. And you're going to continue with the decrease in here. So I'm going to do decrease in all the rounds just to close the top. I still have to shave a little bit more here in the head, put a little more stuffing or move it around. And what you're going to do now is you're going to knit 1 and 2 together, knit 1, 2 together, knit 1, 2 together, and so on. And after that, you will do 2 together, 2 together, 2 together. I don't want to record that in camera because it will be too difficult for me to record in here with the Minion with all the stuffing. It will be easier for me to have it more like, and you know, I'm looking down and looking at what I'm doing. So the decrease is exactly the same as you done decreases so far. And after that, we're gonna do the little arms. Everybody want him. Everyone. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Probably I had to do some tickets and some raffles and see who get it. I'm done with the decrease. I'm not going to decrease anymore. I have 12 stitches left, and then what I'm going to do is cut a piece of yarn, pass it through those 12 stitches, pull, and secure. I already put enough stuffing in the top. You see? I really don't want to, to do some arms. I like him like this. Let's see what my family think. I'm going to get their opinion before I decide if I leave it like this or I do some arms. I absolutely love this guy. Here at the top, when I close all my stitches, I have some gaps in between stitches because it's really difficult to do the decreases with double pointed needle with the little head already with the stuffing in it. So I cut the yarn long enough for the finish the top and interweave the stitches. What I did, and instead to pass it inside the stitch, I pass it inside the yarn. You see, and you can see it here, and I interweave it in outside and outside until I went all the way out and close the little gap of the stitches in the top. So you will do that way it will be perfect. Now I'm gonna cut some medium 4 yarn. I'm gonna do a few. I'm gonna work in their arms. I told my daughter I don't want to do arms. She said you have to because I look quite weird without it. It's throwing me off. So I'm gonna do the little glove, you know, like do like a hands like this, a little more like a circle. I had this old SpongeBob leg here that I had to throw out, the one that was too long. So what I'm gonna do is do a part that is more with more stitches and then decrease and then work the arm. And I'm gonna cast on 16 stitches, slip knot, and cast on 16. Once you have your 16 stitches, we're gonna do 5 rows of net. Net in the right side and net in the wrong side for 5. And remember, you have to make 2 exactly the same. So I will meet you here after I done those 5 net rows. Once you finish with those 5 rows, you're gonna do 1 row of decrease. You're gonna net 1, 2 together, 2 together, 2 together, and at the end you're gonna net 1. So net 1, 2 together, and a net stitch all of them. 2 together and 2 together, 2 together, and at the end you're gonna just net the last one. Once you finish those 5 rows, you're gonna work 5 more, but this time you're gonna work net in the right side and purl on the wrong side. You're gonna start with a net row, and the next one will be a purl row, and so on for 5 rows. In total 10 with the black. After that, we'll change to the yellow. And this will be the glovey. Once you're done your 5 row with the black, we're gonna cut the strand long enough for sewing. And now we're gonna start working with the yellow for 18 rows. Here I have my 18 rows with the yellow, and will look like this when you finish. So now I'm going to cut a strand long enough to close the top, to sew the yellow, and to pass it to the top through the center to sew the arm to the body. With this one was more easy because it was a small piece. So it was easy to bring the jar up. So I will try with this one. And I don't want to do a lot of stuffing in the arms because their arms just are down to the side like this. So I'm just going to put just a tiny little bit of stuffing in it.
Nor? Nor? You going for a hike?
I'm going outside by myself because William's not coming. Do not put his socks on. He's put them on by himself.
Start recording, Willie. Let me finish recording. And I will show you how to do it.
The arm will look like this, and I was doing the stuffing as I closed the arm. That way it wasn't too big. I want it nice and small, nice and thin, and that was the best way to do it. And with the extra black strand, you can see the stuffing through here, and then I weave in that black yarn, and I close it as much as I could, and you don't see as much now. And it looked like I have the hand closed like this, so that's the best that I can do. So I took out the strand not right in the center, more to the side, because I want to sew this like this, more to the side of the arm. It will look like this. So make the other one, and I will meet you here to sew them to the body. The arms will go around here, like that. So I'm gonna sew it here, and I'm gonna leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and where it starts 6, I will sew them here, nice and straight down. The same way that you sew this arm, you're gonna sew the next one. So if you look at here, I have it below the first row in here, or the last one below of the yellow. So 5 in, so you will count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and where I start at 6, 1 below at that row, and here I will sew this arm, trying to sew it exactly in the same place. I will do that off camera because I already showed you how to do it, and I will show you the end result of our minion. I'm gonna measure for you, that way you know that it's not a tiny little minion. I measure 49 centimeters, that's like 19 inches. It's not a tiny little minion, but it look gorgeous. I'm gonna stand up by the wall and I will show you the end result. This is the end result, and I absolutely love this minion. They look amazing. Not bad for my first one with no pattern or anything. I love it. And I hope you guys like it and give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this minion amigurumi and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page Rubynet Crochet y Tejido or my Instagram Rubynet Crochet Tejido. Please share my video with friends and family, that way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.